Hey guys, before we get into your amazing new single, Hit and Run, I also want to congratulate you guys on your new partnership with Venture Cat Records and Brightly Management. Here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. I want to know where your passion for music came from. Was a certain album inspired or something that was just naturally for you as a child?
Yeah, so my first passion for music started, I always tell the story. I don't know if it's actually true or not, but I always like to say that I first decided I wanted to play guitar when I saw the movie Back to the Future and I saw Marty McFly play guitar. And it's probably in my opinion, one of the coolest musical scenes in cinema history. Just him
Hell yeah.
playing really good, right? And I was like, wow, that's the coolest thing ever. I want to do that. Around that same time, I was always like, in the car with my dad coming back from sports or going to school, back from school. And he was always listening to classic rock, which was always very guitar driven, guitar heavy. So yeah, I started begging my parents to get me a guitar and they finally caved and did. And I started taking lessons, and it really wasn't until I was in high school that I kind of started taking it seriously, because I joined a band where all the members of the band were much better at their instruments than me. And it made me kind of like be like, okay, if I want to hang with these guys, I need to practice a lot more than I have been. And yeah, we started playing like classic rock cover songs. We were like a group of like 15-year-old kids playing like classic rock covers. And we
That's
had
awesome.
would like play like Neil Peart, and we had, really good guitar player in the band. And then there was me just kind of, doing my best. And I've pretty much been in a band ever since. I just love being in a band. I love playing shows. I love making music. So yeah, that's kind of where like my passion's been ever since. And
Cool.
yeah, we've been doing this band for 7 years now. So 6 or 7 years, we've
Very
been going
cool.
strong.
Yeah, for me, in terms of like where my passion kind of came from, like all growing up, I was like super shy, all the time, like honestly. But music was always something that I really gravitated towards. And I just felt like you could see so many different emotions in different songs, different styles. And that's where I gravitated to so much because of that. And eventually I was like, I started getting more and more involved into it. And I got an acoustic guitar, and I wanted to start a band, and it was really difficult to find members at that time. So I was like, you know what, I just need to learn how to play, and I need to write some songs. And it was so difficult to, like, I remember teach myself to play guitar, but I finally started getting it, and then just writing a lot consistently, like for hours. And the song sucked at first, right? But
They always
they probably
do,
still suck.
but
Yeah, but just all that practice and being able to put like all of my emotions in music was something that made me gravitate towards it so much. And even when we write songs now, like I'm able to just put like certain emotions that sometimes I can't always like vocalize,
Yeah.
with people and stuff like that. So that's for me, like how music kind of like gravitated and how I gravitated towards it.
Hell
So growing up, my dad, he was a musician, but he grew up. So when I was a child, we pretty much always had instruments around the house. My dad was always playing.
yeah.
So he got me started on piano, and he would play along accompaniment parts and play guitar and bass, or he would play his trumpet and different stuff. And then when I got into elementary school, like into middle school, I was already playing violin and bass and guitar through there. And all through the years, there's just a lot of classical music. And then I enjoyed listening to like 80s music, all the hair metal bands, 60s bands. And then I started going to Warped Tour and watching like local shows. And I was like, that's a lot cooler than playing violin. So I want to do that. And then same thing, yeah, just all through
I guess
middle
you could
school
join
and
a
high
Yellow
school.
Card tribute band, I guess,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the closest. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the closest. That's cool though. You ever thought about whipping out a violin in one of your songs, maybe by any chance, or
For the future.
you're over that?
It could happen. It could happen. We're not against it. So
Yeah, we'll just program it.
All right, in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Michael.
Yep.
go.
So I started getting into music when it was my senior year of high school, just kind of discovering guitar and bass. I borrowed a bass from a friend who had a starter pack bass and guitar, but he liked the guitar more, so I kind of got the hand-me-down bass. And I started listening to a lot of like Chili Peppers, Tool, Incubus, Rage Against the Machine, and all those bass lines were so fun to play and fun to learn with. And then once I entered college, I just thought I want to be in a band and start going down that road. Entertainment's fun, being on stage is fun. Let's try to do that. And I played in bands throughout college and eventually moved to Orlando and continued a band that eventually ended. And then I just thought it's still fun. I still want to do it. And let's find like-minded people and just see how far we can push it. And then one day I responded to a Craigslist post that Damien had posted, and within the hours, get an email back.
Within the hour.
Within the hour.
You guys are a Craigslist man.
Can we talk tomorrow after work? And then I was over at Damien's place a few days later.
Literally.
And then that's it.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's nice. I can see where it's all coming together now.
Yeah.
For me, it was my mom got me into it. She used to buy CDs all the time, and she had the record Nevermind by Nirvana. And she and when I heard that song Smells Like Teen Spirit with the drums come in, I was just like, dang, I want to do this. And my dad bought me my first drum set. There was a music store going out of business, and he knew I had rhythm. Ever since I was a kid, I'd always tap. I used to be really good at Dance Dance Revolution, and he just saw rhythm in me. So he's like, bought me a drum set, and I practiced, learned to beat my first day I got it. Dave Grohl's always been like my guy. Like Dave, like I have a tattoo of Dave Grohl on my back because it's such a big inspiration.
You really do have one?
Yeah,
Let me see it. Come on.
From time to time.
Yeah, I'll take your shirt. I want to see it.
Take us back for this moment.
I may have him in.
He's always ready to.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, well, the reason I asked that question is because when I was 11 years old, growing up, I didn't have cable at all. So I never really got to see MTV, but I was over at a friend's house and seeing Smells Like Teen Spirit, late 91. I instantly started growing my hair long and begged my parents to get a drum set. Eventually did, so, but that's where my passion for music came from. So I love hearing it. And it's pretty cool because I think your band is very influential from pop punk to metal to classic rock, kind of all mixed together. So it's cool hearing where your passion came from. I can see where all it comes together. And let's get into the new single, Hit and Run. So this is based on a true story. You guys got into a crash. Was it in a van, I assume, like going home from a gig? Can you tell us the stories behind that first?
Yeah, absolutely. We were, I think it was one of our last shows of our tour.
Yeah. It was before we actually had our van.
We didn't have our band van at this time, and we would all just kind of take our own vehicles, and a few of us would drive together. And we were driving home after a show one night. It was a great show. Like, we had a great time. And at this one point, like, there was this, it was a green light straight forward. So like, we thought none of it. The band was in the car with me. And then just a massive truck just pulls right in front, tail ends us. And it felt like a video game, man, like Call of Duty. Like I had never been in like an accident of that magnitude. And the car literally just stopped for 1 second. We had gotten out of the car, and then I could not believe it just took off. Didn't even see if anyone was like, hurt or killed, or even killed like in the car. And like, I couldn't believe like the lawlessness, like, and that guy was never found, so.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was like, it was absolutely a true story. And like, we were just like, so unnerved by that event, and how any one of these one of my bandmates could have been killed at that point, which is pretty crazy. And like, we're just really thankful that everyone like survived and we were okay. But it still leaves that lasting impact to us from time to time, like, when we think about it. So that's where kind of that song came, and that's how like the inspiration, that idea came to be. And the music video has like a lot of those themes in it too.
Oh yeah, I love the music video. Before we get into the music video, I want to get into the writing process. So do you guys come up with the riffs first, or do you do the lyrics and then kind of combine them, or what starts? Because I love the guitar riff, especially in this thing.
That one was a riff. No, that was, I think Mike wrote that one.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was
Mike wrote the riff on bass, and
Nice.
Yeah.
and we started writing it, and it was about something else.
It was about my ex,
Yeah.
in a relationship-y kind of sense. And we first thought like this hit and run car accident element would get combined with the relationship. Yeah,
Okay.
like the relationship can be a hit and run. But then it kind of started going in that more, you know, true hit and run story. And then it kind of leaned in that direction a bit more. We sort of had the riff and then the idea built on it from there.
I remember being like, we really wanted to make this record that we're about to put out a lot more personal. And we had written a lot of songs about relationships. And I was like, man, like, we need to talk about this car accident and the feelings and the emotions we had for all of us to be kind of catharsis, especially Damien. Because it was such a real thing that's happened to us, it's almost like it would be a waste if we didn't write a song about it and turn it into something positive in our life instead of something that has always been negative. So I kind of like was like, yo guys, we need to find a way to make this riff, this song about that night. And so we actually kind of shifted gears and started writing it like reverse. We wrote the song and then we tried to make it about that night. And I think when we were able to go to the studio with Andrew Wade to record it, he definitely helped bring that out of us too, and helped like really get a lot of those emotions across that were hard for us to kind of, you know, come up with ourselves. So that's kind of how that all came to be.
That's great. 'Cause when I first got the press release, honestly, I just clicked on the video and I loved it. But I was like, I wonder if this is a real car crash or is it maybe just a metaphor for like a relationship or something? But I guess you kind of combined it both, you know. So
Both work.
We tried to specifically make it like work either way. Like you could listen to it and think of it as a relationship, or you could think of it as a literal car crash. And it is like we wanted it to be that way. We don't always just want to tell you exactly what it's about, you know.
Yeah. I assumed you guys never performed this live, right? You know, because this probably was written during the shutdown pandemic or recording.
I don't think we have.
No, we've
If
never.
we did,
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I don't think we have played that.
I would love to hear it live, especially whenever like you know, like packed house, some little club, everyone in the pits going hit and run, you know, fingers up on the stage. But, oh, dude, I miss concerts so much.
You're pumping us up.
You're
right
telling
now.
us, man.
You're pumping us
Yeah,
up.
man.
We're ready.
Well, one day, hopefully soon, things are starting to get a little back to normal. But let's get into the music video, which you mentioned, directed by Sean Maple. Great video. I mean, who's the one that's in the sheet with the ghost? You know, that's pretty cool.
Take a guess.
Yes,
Take a
yes,
guess.
it is. Yes, it is.
You know I'm eliminated, so you've got.
Yeah, I
you
know.
got
So
four.
you're in the car with them. So eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You in the back.
It was,
you look like falling up with a
Yeah, so it's cool. The main ghost is Cory. Cory's like the main ghost, especially in all the driving scenes and throughout the storyline. But
Gotcha.
we had like in the performance shots when we have the kind of like the projector put on us, there's moments
like
where we all become ghosts. And we wanted that to kind of symbolize that like at any moment that night, any one of us could be that ghost, right? And Damien's
okay. Yeah, I was
potentially
wondering.
be-
I feel like it's symbolized for something.
Yeah, and Damien's, you know, the video's kind of like Damien's kind of dealing with the guilt of like he was driving one of his bandmates or friends or family, whatever you want to say. It passed away in a car crash, and so that's kind of what we were trying to get across was it really could have been any of us. Cory just fit the costume the best. So
He has a ghostly complexion already.
and we really wanted the ghost to smoke cigarettes, and he's the only one that really. I guess Tyler, you smoke cigarettes. But, like,
I don't even smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't respect my body. So.
Yeah. Okay. That's.
What was that? I get you kind of did the Van Halen guitar thing with the finger over top of the guitar, like the slide like that.
Yeah, you did that in that video. Yeah. Cory did that. Yeah, that was
That's
a cool part.
that's cool. Where did you guys shoot the? I guess the junkyard scene with all the dead cars around. That must have been really cool to shoot there.
I was in DeBerry.
DeBerry, Florida.
Middle of nowhere, North Orlando, just some.
Like out by the villages or anything?
Not that
No,
far.
It's like
Not
halfway
that
to
far.
Daytona. It's like
It's like
halfway to
40
Daytona.
Oh, okay. The other actually, gotcha.
North
It's
of
like-
Sanford.
It's like right under DeLand,
Yeah.
but it's north of
Oh.
Sanford. So it's like right under
Gotcha.
that. big road. Yeah.
Our director was like, it'd be really cool if we could shoot in a junkyard, and we were like, I doubt anyone's gonna let us. So
Yeah.
we just Googled junkyards and we looked at pictures, and we are like, this one looks awesome. And sure enough, I called him. I was like, my name is Andrew. I represent the rock band Felicity. Like trying to be all like managery.
That's how you have to do
Yeah,
it.
we were
And,
shocked.
We were like, we want to come
What
shoot
were the
a video.
response?
And
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, come on down Saturday. I don't care. And so we went there, and it was like perfect. Like the scenery and everything was perfect. There was one spot we really wanted to shoot, but they wouldn't let us.
It was off limits. We were really upset. Like, we
Yeah.
tried to
Oh
get
wow!
rid of it.
Why was it off limits?
Because they were actually working and they had like
Oh,
heavy machinery and they didn't want to like potentially us
All the
getting
way,
hurt.
get you
Yeah.
crushed by
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, but still, he was like, "Oh, I used to be in a band, and we used to practice out here in the back of the junkyard when he was a kid, and apparently his parents owned the junkyard." So it's like goes to show that like, hey, if you don't ask, you never know. Like we were convinced like this, we will not be able to shoot in a junkyard. We're not high
Well,
enough.
that's why I
caliber
asked. I
to
feel like
be
most
able to-
junkyards would be like, no, you can't do that. But
Well, it's pretty. I assume it's a pretty big liability to let some
yeah,
kid
yeah,
film
exactly.
a junkyard and a music video in a junkyard. But hey, he let us do it, and it came out awesome. Like those shots is like our favorite part of the video is definitely those junkyard
Very
shots.
cool. Well, I also checked out one of your old music videos called "Hang On." Looks like you guys got the Beform. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like it was Vans Warped Tour in the parking lot at Campton Ward Stadium. Is that what it was?
Yes.
That's
When
cool.
Warped
When was
Tour
that?
was a thing, and that was in 2016. We actually we won the like contest that like every city there's like one band.
Oh
that
wow,
gets
that's
picked.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so we won that in 2016, and it was the first and I believe only year where they let the contest winner open up the main stage. So we got to play one of the main. We weren't like
Yeah, I was gonna
normally.
say that looked like the main one of the
Normally
main.
we get to play like Ernie Balsam. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So we
you
got to
usually
be
get
the
the
first band that played on the main stage, and we got really lucky because we played like obviously at like 11 a.m. Like the doors are open and they're like start playing.
Well, there was actually a crowd there. That's impressive.
It was Yellow Card.
Yellow Card was on the stage after us.
So Yellow Card was was going to be playing after us, and then right after we played, Real Friends was playing to the main stage next to us. So you had
Oh.
a massive crowd of people just
Yeah.
wanting the best spots for both
You
bands.
could have grabbed your violin and jump on stage with Yellow
I
Card.
know.
It all comes full circle.
Yeah. But that was the day like none of us will forget.
Yeah.
Like not only because it was amazing to play
Yeah.
Warped Tour, but man, I don't know how those bands do it. Like it was always a dream for us, to be on Warped Tour, and it's unfortunate
Yeah.
we'll never get to really do it. But also maybe it's a blessing because that one day I swear was one of the longest, hardest days of my life.
Yeah, I don't. The closest I got, because I used to own Level 27 clothing, and I did the whole Vans Warped Tour one year on one of the sponsored tour buses. It's hard because it's
Yeah.
elements, the heat. I don't know how
Big
bands
trees
do,
off the
especially if they're in a
light.
little van following it around. So
Yeah,
props to
yeah,
every
like,
band.
drag our equipment like quarter of a mile.
Yeah,
one
I have so
way.
much more respect now when I see bands like Every Time I Die to think that they've done like 15 Warped Tours, full
Yeah.
boat every single day in the sun and the heat and the elements and driving through the night to get to the next town to set up and play in the heat and then
Yeah.
man.
Then you,
So
then you have
yeah,
to
we-
hustle all day trying to sell merch to get gas to get to the next venue.
Yeah. So while we wish, we always wish
Yeah.
that we could have done it, but who knows? There'll be hopefully something else like that comes
Mhm.
around someday. 'Cause
So,
that was special,
As I mentioned earlier, I just moved here. Before the shutdown, what are some cool music venues around here? I know about the House of Blues. Apparently, Ace was it Ace Hotel, Ace
Oh,
Cafe,
Ace
I
Cafe.
think.
Ace
Ace Cafe, yes.
That's a newer one. There's actually Ace Cafe has a show with a red jumpsuit and
Hawthorne
Hawthorne Heights. like,
Yeah,
next
yeah,
week.
yeah. I'm gonna be covering that, so hopefully.
Soundbar is an awesome like 300 cap room here in Central Florida.
The
Um,
social.
Willow's Pub is great as well.
Willow's Pub is great. And then honestly, there's a club called the Beachum that's really good for rock shows. When they do rock shows, the only negative is they start them at like 6 o'clock and they end at like 9:30 because they want to flip and become a nightclub. But we've seen like
It's an amazing venue.
Silverstein, Census Fail, like St. Champs,
Yeah,
Neck Deep. And they always sound amazing. It's always such a good time and an amazing show there. And then the Plaza, which
I was
is
about to say
a
Plaza,
really good
yeah.
one as well.
Yeah.
But those are probably the best. And House of Blues by far our favorite though. Like House of Blues Social's good.
Social's good.
The Social doesn't do a lot of rock shows anymore.
Not anymore.
The Hard Rock,
No.
Hard
What's
Rock,
the,
and House of Blues.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Hard Rock too.
The new one that Marshall was just talking about. It's not a new one. It's
Abbey.
the Abbey.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
supposed to be good. I haven't been there yet though.
Abbey's good.
But our favorites, like we've gotten to play House of Blues a couple times. That's amazing.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
Soundbar is like our home show. Like
Uh-huh.
it's not too big.
Well,
It's right in the heart of
Bombshells
downtown.
was
Well,
wrong.
Bombshells was, yeah.
Bombshell.
Yeah, Soundbar is like pretty much every band who's ever been anybody has played probably Soundbar. It used to be called Back Booth. but it's just like a staple. Like that's the venue you play when you're coming into town and coming to Orlando, and you're at that like 300 cap level. Like when you're up and coming and you're on tour, and so many memories at Soundbar. We had our last album release show there, and it was amazing.
Very cool. Well, I also saw in that music video, and you got the shirt on to prove it. But you guys are big wrestling fans, huh? Or at least
well, at least I am. Cory is a little bit now, but I'm a huge wrestling fan. Yeah, ever since that, it's one of those things you start watching when you're 10 and you never grow out of, like Pokemon.
Me too, man. I love
Wars
AEW.
Yeah.
I want to go to NXT thing someday. I went to AEW taping a couple weeks ago. That was cool.
Nice. Yeah, Cory and I have been to AEW a few times this year. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. All right, well, you guys, this is a new record. This song's going to be on eventually, right? What can you tell us about that? I guess you said it's a little more personal, or is it like music variety? You got some more like some slower, more pop punk stuff, more heavy stuff, or kind of mix of all the above?
I think honestly, like there's going to be something for everyone on this album. There's a lot of pop punk elements. There's a lot of heavy hardcore elements. There's even, some pop. We're venturing into a new chapter of Felicity, and we're just honestly really excited to put this music out. We've been holding off for a little while, and honestly, I think there's going to be something for everyone. So you should be somewhat intrigued by the mysteriousness that is behind this band. Moving forward. So.
Hit and Run is one of the songs that we're like, this is a song that like if you know about us and if you like us, then Hit and Run is a song that like for the Felicity fans that have been with us for the years. And then there's some stuff on the record that is absolutely something you would never expect us to do. And that's one of the luxuries of doing a full length record where you can take more chances. And if something falls flat, then it's okay because you have like 9-10 other songs. Obviously, we hope that this becomes like one of those records where it's like you can listen to every song and not hit skip. But we personally love everything on the record. There's several different genres and things we've never done before. And on top of that, it definitely is way more personal. And one thing that I think is really special to me and to us is that like almost every member of the band has their own song on the record. Like everyone has a song that's either they wrote either musically or contributed to heavily lyrically.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or is there something that's really special to them, which is really cool. And we got a really cool feature on it. I don't know when we'll announce that, but there's a cool feature on it. And we're actually releasing the second single tomorrow. I mean, I don't know when this comes out. So maybe it'll be already out by the time this comes out. So really exciting times for sure. Any
plans for any shows, anything coming up? Things are starting to get back to normal or anything? Or
not really. We're also like just trying to play it safe. The first time we did a live stream when all this happened, we like almost got canceled for it. So like we're just waiting until things are like better and then everyone's okay with shows before we try to like put our foots out there again.
Well, hopefully there'll be a CD release at the Soundbar, then I can go see that.
Oh, that would be dope.
That'd be the dream. So we're hoping maybe this summer if we could do a show, or maybe this fall, the latest this fall shows will be back. But we're just waiting, just like everybody else. Like while we may be comfortable playing shows and we may be comfortable going to shows, we know a lot of other people aren't, so we just want to make sure.
I understand. And I went and covered the Hops and Hogs Music Festival at the fairgrounds in Orlando. But I'm fully vaccinated now, so I feel fine going out now. But this huge windstorm came and trashed the stage, and the show got canceled. I was like, great! It's been over a year since I've been to a music festival, and then this happened. So
exactly.
Wow, that's crazy.
So, but well, thank you guys. Take your time to talk to me, and hopefully we could go to the wrestling event sometime, and I can see you guys in concert in Orlando sometime.
That's the plan.
That'd be awesome, man. That'd be sweet.
All right. Well, I can't wait to hear the rest of this amazing record. So, guys, take care and keep in touch. All right.
Awesome. Sounds good, man.
Thank you, man.
Hope to see you at a show soon.